All right, friends, let's have a conversation. So about I'll say an hour and a half ago at this point, I got rear-ended. And so nobody knows this really. Unless you paid some attention to some of my YouTube shorts, then you might be a little more aware than others. I've been in physical therapy off and on kind of for the last two and a half years. More recently, I've been going like the last 2 or 3 months, and I'm in physical therapy already for back pain, right? Like my back hurts, and of course, upon going, I know that it's because of things that I maybe haven't been doing the best. That is the best for my body, which is something for me to heal, right? We live, we learn. We learn how to take care of our bodies as we get older. Sometimes more than we might have known when we were younger. Whatever. Irrelevant, right? Irrelevant. So I got rear-ended by a drunk guy. Um, and I don't know what is more frustrating, right? I don't know if what's more frustrating is the fact that 10 seconds before he did actually rear end me, I watched him through my rear view mirror almost rear end me 10 seconds before he actually did. Um, we're coming down a one-way, two-lane, one-way street. Car in front of me is coming to a stop, and I of course am slowing down because I'm directly behind this car, and this is when I see him almost hit me. So he doesn't, right? And so I watch this car in front of me pulling into their driveway because their house is directly off of this street. Well, less than 500 feet, maybe I'll say less than 1,000 feet, right? Less than 1,000 feet later, we are approaching a stoplight. In which case, as I'm hitting my brakes, applying my brakes, slowing down to approach this stoplight in the traffic in front of me, I feel my car just jerk and I hear boom, right? And initially, I'm thinking like I hit someone in front of me, like just because even though I'm paying attention, even though I'm aware of what's going on, I didn't initially know what was going on. Like there's that initial shock when you get hit or into a car accident or into any kind of accident where like your brain is trying to catch up to the events that took place. So I'm sitting there, I'm checking on my son in the back seat because he's in the back seat of the car. And I'm just like sitting there because I'm like, okay, I can't believe that you just hit me 10 seconds after almost hitting me, right? So he gets out of the car. He comes running in my car. Are you okay? Are you okay? I can smell the alcohol. I can smell the alcohol on this man's voice. I can see the alcohol in his appearance. Okay. And I think that's what initially had me like, great, right? You're drunk or you're inebriated in some way. So he's like, are you okay? Let's just pull over right here. There's a lot, like right here, a little bit of in front of us. We pull into the lot. I finally get out of the car to assess the damage to the vehicles. I start taking my pictures. He starts talking to me about how he just got into an accident 30 minutes prior to when he hit me, saying that someone else had just rear-ended him. And it's one of those, and he's like, he's driving this big old GMC Sierra, so he doesn't have any major damage to his car. And from the previous accident, running in the back, I'm also driving a pickup, so running into the back of me, he ran partially into my side of the truck, so the driver's side rear end, and he obviously hit like the hitch that we have on the back of the truck, right? So that I think protected a lot of the bumper of the car is the fact that we have that hitch back there. Um, so as we're sitting here and we're discussing, well, I'm getting pictures and I'm like, he's asking me questions and telling me how bad of a day he's having and this and that. And the conversation turns to, well, can we just handle this without insurance? can we just, we don't have to get insurance involved. We could just, I own a store in the neighborhood or in the city. I can pay for the repairs. We don't, I just really don't want to have to go through insurance for this. And so I point blank tell him, like, I can't tell you how it's going to be handled because this isn't my vehicle. I'm driving my boyfriend's car. The insurance is in my father-in-law's name. Like, I can't dictate how this goes as far as insurance is concerned, right? At this point, I've called the police, my boyfriend, and my father-in-law. The police show up after my boyfriend, so my boyfriend gets there before the cop. And then when the cop gets there, when I tell you I have never seen such little fucks given in a situation, he walks up, he barely listens to me explain what happened. He walks over to him, he asks him what happened. He asks for both of our information, like our license and registration. He walks away. He gives both of us the police report that was filed, and he leaves. Now, the thing about it for me is that, again, there's a group of men in the same lot that we pulled into that watched the car accident take place, right? One of them is also, these men are, it's a Friday evening, these men are just congregating and drinking. One of them comes over, this is before the cop shows up, and he says, he's sitting there, he comes to talk to hit the man, right? The other man. And he's like, and for context, and I don't know if it matters or not. This is an Asian man that hit me. It's a black man who comes up, and he goes over to this man and he's like, "Oh my God, I know him. What happened, bro? What happened?" Like I said, this man is drunk too, but he's out here drinking for he's out here congregating and drinking. He's not driving and drinking, right? So then it turns into, as I'm trying to still get this other man's information, this guy is like, he's telling him like, yeah, so I'm just hoping that maybe she won't go through insurance, because I just had this whole thing happen. It's just not my day. None of this is relevant to me, by the way. Like, what you had happen 30 minutes prior to you hitting me has no effect on me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. So this other guy turns to me while he's drunk and he goes, "Oh yeah, he owns a corner store in the neighborhood. He owns that store over there named blah blah blah." So I'm not gonna say the name of the store, but yeah, he's like, "Yeah, he owns the store. He's good for the money. He's got lots of money, right? Don't even go to insurance. Don't go to insurance. Just let him pay for the vehicle." Now, we're not taking into account the fact that, again, my child is in the back seat of this car, and I was just rear-ended, and I already have back problems, right? Y'all, it has only been, like I said, it was maybe an hour and a half ago. It has only been that amount of time. And when I tell y'all, I can feel the pain just like creeping up my spine from just like the jerking, that my body did upon impact. And y'all are sitting here trying to talk me out of going to insurance, but the whole thing about it is, right, if this incurs a medical expense for me, you're not going to pay for that. Let's be for real about it, right? Like, you're not going to choose to pay for that just out of your pocket. You're not. And so I have to tell this other guy that just walked up out of thin freaking air to come and tell me not to go to insurance. I literally very politely was just like, excuse me, sir, could you do me a favor and maybe not tell me how to handle a situation that I just got in involving like me getting hit in a car accident? Like, I would appreciate that. "Oh, okay, Miss Lady. Well, I'll just do an even bigger favor and I'll go back over here." Yeah, because you shouldn't have brought your drunk ass over here in my face telling me what to do in a situation where he just hit the back of my car. Like, why the fuck are you coming over here telling me not to make him deal with the consequences of his actions? Like, don't do that. This is far from inappropriate. So anyway, yeah. So that conversation is had. My boyfriend shows up. He has the conversation with my boyfriend. They agree on whatever they agree on as far as the fixing of the car. And then my boyfriend very briefly and quickly follows up with, regardless of how we're handling the fixing of the car, she already has back problems. So if she chooses to go to the doctor and there are medical expenses, then the insurance will be involved. Like, I can't stop that from happening because I'm not going to ask her to put her health aside for a vehicle. It doesn't make sense. Oh, okay, I understand. I understand. Man, this just really sucks. You want to know who it sucks for? It sucks for me and my child who is in the back seat, slightly traumatized from the situation. I don't care about you. Again, the cop, all he does is give us this little police report. He doesn't breathalyze this man, even though other people who were visible present at the time. There was a guy walking down the street right before he hit me that watched him throw his cup of liquor out of the car because he almost hit the man with it. He came over to tell me, he's like, did the cop breathalyze him at all? Because like he was very obviously inebriated, and not even just that, he threw his liquor out of the car. I never even seen that because I was too busy like dealing with what was going on in my vicinity from me being hit. I'm happy that I wasn't hurt. I'm agitated that I got hit at all, but I'm happy that I didn't lose my life and I wasn't severely hurt and my child wasn't hurt. But also, I just hate how people feel like they shouldn't have to deal with the consequences of their actions. And I'm just a little bit shaken. But it was one of those moments where I'm just like, I need to vent about it. And I'm already trying to find ways to be more active on YouTube anyway. So this is me venting and also using it for YouTube content. And that could go either way. People can have whatever opinions about it that they're going to have. That's fine. Um, I just needed to get this out because I'm so upset. And I'm upset because I know that I am going to have to go to the doctor. And I know that it is going to lead to probably more physical therapy and whatever else could be wrong. And I hate the implication that if I go to the doctor, then it's because I'm seeking out some type of money because, oh, he told you he had money and this and that. And it's like, no, I have to look out for my health at the end of the day, and this is going to physically affect me. I was supposed to be making it home so that I could get ready to go to work, and then this has affected also like immediately affected my ability to work because I was immediately told, "No, you go home and rest and you take a night off and I'll handle what you needed to do for work today." Cool, right? Like that's great because I have people that look out for me, but also now I'm already immediately facing something dealing with like my money, because again, I'm only picking up little side jobs for stuff right now. So this was just a little side job, a little side hustle that I have. So it's like, that's all I got, y'all. I just wanted to come on here and talk about it because I'm very frustrated. I'm very upset. And I'm also bothered by the fact that I know that mentally I have to deal with, like, if I do go forward with needing medical attention, like I said, the implication, because this guy was already talking about, yeah, this lady, you know, no, you know what messes me up? He told me that a lady had rear-ended him the beginning of the conversation when he said he got into an accident 30 minutes before. He said that a lady had rear-ended him, but then when he went further into explaining the story, you could tell he couldn't get his lies straight. Because he then also turns around and said, oh, it was barely a tap. I barely tapped her. Like, she didn't even have any damage to her car. I didn't even have any damage to mine. So he lied about her hitting him. He hit her. Wow. Thinking about this now. Just, yeah. So again, and even with that, he said that she had family members show up and pretty immediately tell her, like, yeah, you need to go to the doctor. And she's like, oh, her back. He's like, oh, here she goes talking about, oh, her back hurts. Oh, she might need to go to the doctor. And he's like, she's just trying to get in my pockets and she's just trying to screw me over. And I'm just like, you don't know how this lady's back is affected or her body is affected by you hitting her or y'all getting into an accident regardless. Like the same way you don't really know how mine is going to be affected, which is why my boyfriend very quickly was just like, look, if she says her back hurts, her back hurts because she already has health issues that she's dealing with right now. So she's already going to physical therapy. So, I'm not going to tell her not to go to the doctor. But yeah, so that's it for me, y'all. Have a good day. Stay safe. And as usual, stay kinky.